Listen, I know what I said. I said I was done with the Blueprince demo, but the developers just recently announced the game will be coming to consoles, including the Xbox Game Pass, which is amazing news for everyone else who wants to play the game and doesn't have a PC. Hearing about the game again made my curiosity tingle, so I decided to have another go and see if there's anything more I can find or crack, and indeed there is. This video will focus on the new content I found, but if you're interested in more step-by-step discovery, check out the playlist on my channel to see my journey in the game from the start. And if you enjoy my content, consider liking or subscribing. Let's go and see what I found. We're starting on day 1 again with nothing, but of course as soon as I can I get the orchard unlocked for our bonus steps on following days. First, room selection, which by the way I noticed the very first draft in the game is always the same 3 rooms. I pick the closet and immediately get blessed with the metal detector. It's a useful item and I'm hoping to get a chance to actually unlock and draft the tunnel this time, so this is first step towards it. From here I'm just building up a fairly standard early setup, just trying to utilize the space as best as possible. In the guest bedroom we get the car keys, which will be useful if we can get the garage too. Early security is also good for control over doors, and I make an order for the magnifying glass, as I think this one is much harder to find and we will need it for our crafting. Just 1 room away I get the utility closet. This both completes our security door requirements and I'm able to add the gemstone mine to our permanent additions set. Back to security to make sure the door settings are correct. I pick high and unlocked as my default, as that gives most value for not needing keys. However, I do think there might be reason to not do this. For example, when we have special keys, we want a chance to use them in the right spot. Next, I pull the courtyard and there's a shovel in there. Another item I'm happy to see, and immediately we get a boost from 2 turnips. On day 1, making sure we get those extra steps is good. Darkroom pops up while we're still close to the utility closet, so we can fix it up with quick flick of the switch and we get rewarded with a lockpicking kit. I feel like the game is being quite generous today. But just to even it out, I open a chest and get a security keycard, which again I hope there is some secret use for, cause otherwise it's easier to override those doors than actually find and use the card. And yes, I did use one of my only 2 keys cause I like to live dangerously. I go to the greenhouse and pick up a watering can, as well as some more turnips. By the way, the footage in the latest trailer confirms that those flower beds can have flowers in them, so I'm excited to see what that mechanic will be about. The flowers were also hinted at in the observatory book. The double room mechanic of the bank room gives me 4 keys. Thanks! In the commissary, I pick up the sledgehammer. My item collection is growing, but my door options are a bit thin right now. I do, however, manage to pull all the way across to the west side and draft the garage. I get the keys, the upgrade disc from the trunk, pretty sure this is also the guaranteed first reward, and I get access to the outside. I pick the tool shed and receive 2 dice and a gear wrench. Quite quickly the game lets me use it, as the next room I draft is the laboratory. With the wrench I can change how common this room is. I think this might be something we can use to get the boiler room to appear more often, with a better placement. All we need to do is just draft it first while we have the wrench. For my upgrade I picked the hallway closet. I had success with it before, so it feels good. And for the experiment, I pick set dice to 2 when a shop room is drafted. I'm hoping that making the lab more common will mean earlier in the day experiments that I have more chance to actually trigger. In the billiard room, I grab the secret garden key. The chamber of mirrors appears, but it would cut me off, so I have to give it a miss this time. Cloister is just a better option here with both doors on all sides, and with our knowledge we can grab the hidden allowance token. We now have baths across the board for upcoming days. Other than keys, but I've never seen a key bath. I managed to fit the code check as my second to last room. As much as I love the metal detector and shovel, I decide to keep the wrench around in the hopes that I can execute my boiler room plan. I end the day on a freezer. Don't have much to freeze or a way to defrost it, but I guess I get to save an extra gem. It's quite a full map, and I end with Garden Banquet Hall of the Dead. 13 dead-end rooms. But not a bad start of a run. Onwards we go. Day 2. We got our rewards from the various things we unlocked, and I'm off to pick up the outside room before I forget again. I picked the toolshed again, since I gave up my other items for the wrench. Metal detector again. Scar. The watering can is okay. I do some general early build-up in the house as usual. The storeroom has a shovel this time. Guest bedroom has the car keys again. I pulled the upgraded closet from the corridor for an extra item. It's dice, a key, and a silver key. Nice. I get the lab and opt for getting keys after spending gems on a room. It will be based on my hallway count. There is a magnifying glass in the room. I now have the pieces I need for the burning glass if I can get the workshop. I fully filled the first 4 ranks of the house. Not bad. I pull the wrench out of the code check. I decide to risk it with the archives to keep my door options open. And I blind pull the maid's chamber, which is a bit annoying, but could be worse. Next, I make a guess gamble on an archived floor plan, hoping it's the garage. And I'm right. I once again score the keys from there, and lockpick and a secret garden key from the trunk. Next, I get the conference room, and right off it, I get to place the secret garden. This pulls all the fruit into the conference room I'm in, but unlike the other rewards, those get placed on the side table and not the main table. Just a note so you don't miss them. I do the puzzle in the garden and unlock the antechamber, even though I'm not really interested in actually ending my game there. Soon after, I place the Great Hall. I don't have too many keys, but I keep my options open. At the end of it, I draft a workshop, which I am now able to set to a common room for easier access. I get the sledgehammer too. I'm not making the burning glass yet, as I want to keep the metal detector function for now. At the next door, I get the Chamber of Mirrors and actually place it. It shuffles all the rooms we already have back to the draft deck. Inside, we see a room that is built of repeated sections and has buttons. Pressing the one button we have access to moves the glass wall on the opposite side. This room does have 4 external doors, but you cannot get to them from inside initially. We need to go all the way around the outside. Good thing I placed it with all the edges still open. Let's see if I can wrap around it. Back in the Great Hall, I managed to actually lockpick the 2 side doors that lead to exits. Office is a great next draft as it wraps to the open antechamber door, and I pick up another upgrade too. Hallway with a key works for me. I return to the Great Hall. If I can get to the lever here, I will actually be able to use the antechamber to get across the house. I have keys to try for reward doors, and I chance into those 2 as well without a key wasted. The RNG gods smile upon us. And from the second upgrade disc, I pick storeroom with extra key. I go across the antechamber, ignoring the demo ending message. Observatory is good enough here as it leads us to another door in the Chamber of Mirrors. I pick up the star reward, but not the planetarium, as we do not need more dead ends. In the Chamber of Mirrors, I get to press another button. It opens one of the areas available from the workshop door. Back around we go! We get an orange, and another button opens an area we cannot access right now. Now, we need to make it through the narrow corridor of remaining spaces to access the 2 remaining doors. In the conference room, I get the money I spread in the office, and my first draft is not looking good. Dice to the rescue, then will do us nicely. I use the silver key next, just so I can get access both to the chamber and keep going straight. While I have another approach from the dark room, it is not turned on and the utility closet is very far away. The choices are not good. I opt for the wait room, as now is not the time to check if the archive effect stacks. This button opens the other corner next to the workshop entrance. The second button actually joins us back up to that area, so we don't have to go back around. More buttons, this time with access on the observatory side. I decide to try to access the final door, as that's closest to where we are. I have to use my last dice to get the corner with the kitchen. And now for the final join. The duplicated observatory fits. We get another star, and that actually does generate another reward, but that's just a side note. We get another button for a sidewall, but also access to the button in the center of the room, which lets us go up. The whole room is mirrored upside down as well. Sadly, those doors don't go anywhere right now. The corners are locked off due to walls being moved here from downstairs, but with a bit of back and forth we can gain access to all of them. The cupboards open and we get some random rewards of coins, fruit, gems and a key. For the demo, that seems to be it, but who knows if there will be more here in the full game? Seems like for the amount of work required, there should be. We managed to fill all but one of the room spaces. Can't have everything, but I'm glad I got to finally explore this new room. Since I have plenty of steps remaining, I go craft the burning glass and put the wrench away in the code check. Then I pick up the tunnel and the conservatory floor plans outside. Will I manage to make use of them this run? Will I finally manage to place the boiler room in a way that actually works? I guess we'll have to find out in another video. See you soon on another adventure.